Imagine for a second the lengths you'd actually go to for a sick pet.
Oh yeah, you drop everything.
Right. You notice they're limping or, they stop eating, and immediately your whole schedule just shifts.
You're sitting in the vet's waiting room for hours.
Exactly. And you're swiping your credit card for these massive medical bills without even a second thought. And when they get too weak to walk, you literally carry them up and down the
I
stairs.
really do.
But then take a breath and ask yourself a deeply, deeply uncomfortable question. Do you offer even half of that devotion, like that immediate patience to your own aging parents?
Hmm.
Or do you sigh when they ask the exact same question twice?
It is a profound contradiction in our modern culture. I mean,
Mm.
honestly, it strips away a lot of the illusions we hold about our own goodness.
It really does. Welcome, everyone. And I want to specifically welcome you today, not just as an audience, but as the community of the Word.
Yeah, we aren't here for a standard topical breakdown today.
No, we're treating this session as a deep meditation. Today, our deep meditation is anchored entirely in that really powerful recent Sunday message from Hong Kong Cheil Church.
Right, the one title, A Vessel for Blessings.
Yes. And whether you were sitting in the sanctuary hearing this message live at Hong Kong Cheil Church, or, you are joining us fresh right now, having never heard it, the mission of our deep meditation today remains exactly the same.
Which is to explore this unexpected, highly practical pipeline between divine holiness, receiving God's blessing, and, well, the daily reality of how we treat our parents.
Let's start with the ultimate goal that pretty much every human being wants, right? A blessing.
Everyone wants the blessing.
Yeah. But we often think of receiving a blessing like a package delivery. You put your name on a list, you pray for the package, and you just wait for it to be dropped on your front porch.
Like it's just this clean, effortless transaction.
Exactly. But the Sunday message from Hong Kong Cheil Church totally shatters that expectation because God places this massive prerequisite on it in Leviticus chapter 19, verse 2.
Right, where God says, be holy, because I, the Lord your God, am holy.
So why holiness? Why is that the non-negotiable first step to getting anything else?
Well, the problem is really our modern definition of the word. We view holiness as this moral roadblock, like a set of behavioral hoops to jump through.
Yeah, just trying to be a good person.
Right. But the message reframed it beautifully. Holiness is literally the vessel for the blessing. In Hebrew, the word for holy is kadosh.
Kadosh.
And kadosh fundamentally means separation. It means intentionally cutting yourself off from the world's standard patterns of success, its obsession with youth and its self-centered behaviors.
So it's not just a passive state, it's an active separation. It's like trying to pour a perfectly brewed, incredibly expensive pour-over coffee into a completely unwashed, filthy mug.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. The vessel ruins the gift.
Yeah. But I have to push back a little on the traditional religious view here, because doesn't holiness usually just mean, like, sitting quietly in a church pew and praying solemnly?
That's what we tend to think, yeah.
So how does this cosmic command connect to our messy daily lives?
No, you have to look at the immediate next verse, Leviticus 19.3. God commands us to honor our parents.
Wait, right after the command to be holy.
Yes. God doesn't point to the altar as the first test of holiness. He points straight to the living room. The home is literally designated as the primary practice ground for holiness.
Which brings us to the really provocative mirror of how we're actually practicing in that living room. If parents are the representatives of life sent by God, how well are we doing?
And that leads right back to the stark reality you mentioned at the start.
Yeah, the message brought up this internet post that honestly stopped me in my tracks. The title was it was meant to provoke. It was called, "Treat Your Parents Like You Treat Your Pet Dog."
I mean, when I first heard that, it sounded incredibly offensive.
I felt the same way, but the painful truth behind it is just devastating. The post points out that we carry our pets when they can't walk, we pay massive vet bills, we clean up their waste, and we cry over their photos when they're gone.
But we fail to offer even half of that devotion to our aging parents. We roll our eyes if they move slowly.
Right. And the post's concluding cry is, "Human, human, please become a human." It's just devastating.
It really is. It forces us to redefine holiness in action. Because true holiness isn't a grandiose religious display. It's staying by the side of an aging, sick parent whose communication might be failing.
Recognizing their God-given authority.
Exactly. The message emphasized that they are the priests of the home. They carry the blessing authority found in Numbers chapter 6.
If parents are the priests with the power to bless, then the family unit itself, it isn't just a biological coincidence, is it?
No, it has a divine mission. The message actually walked through this brilliant framework using the acronym HOME.
Okay, let's break that down for the community of the word.
Sure. So H stands for holiness and energy. The home is where holiness is proven and love's energy is gained.
Got it. And O.
O is oasis, a resting place from the wounds of the world.
Okay, I have to jump in here because that brings up this really painful human contradiction.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so easy to be an absolute angel outside to strangers, right? But then we come home and we become a complete tyrant to the people inside our own houses. Why is it so much harder to prove our faith at home?
Because home is where people see your flaws,
Yeah.
which ties into the M in the acronym mission. The ultimate task of raising godly offspring, like Malachi 2.15 says, passing on the heritage of faith. You can't do that if you're a tyrant.
Right.
And finally, E is experience, the place where we actively experience God.
And the message anchored this so well with that story in Luke chapter 8, verse 39.
Yes, the demon-possessed man.
Right. Jesus heals this guy. And naturally, the man wants to follow Jesus on the road. He wants to be a missionary.
Which sounds super noble.
Totally. But Jesus stops him and says, go back home. He didn't send him to a foreign mission field. He sent him to his living room.
Because true faith is proven at home. If you can't prove it to the family who saw you at your worst, your public faith is empty.
It reminds me of 1 Timothy 5.8, where it says, failing to care for your family makes you worse than an unbeliever.
Exactly. You cannot substitute religious fervor for familial devotion.
So, to summarize where we are for the community of the word, our parents are our conduits of blessing. We have to turn away from the idols we chase.
Like money and power, which Leviticus 19.4 warns us about.
All right. We falsely believe those things will protect us, but we have to return to the divine order of honoring our parents.
And a message gave us such a memorable image for this. Look at your parents' wrinkled hands.
Wow, yeah.
Don't just see them as signs of aging. See them as noble medals. Medals they earned by surviving the hidden, brutal sides of life for your sake.
Noble medals. That just shifts everything. So, community of the word, your immediate application this week is to wash your vessel of holiness in practical ways.
Just small things. Pick up the phone warmly, check on their needs, genuinely respect them.
Because this is a deep meditation, we aren't going to just sign off normally. We want to leave you with a final thought to reflect on.
Something to carry with you into your practice ground this week.
Take a moment right now to look at the vessel of your own life. If your true holiness is measured not by how you act in a church pew, but by the words you use and the patience you show when your parents call, how clean is your vessel today? What is one small, quiet act of reverence you can offer them this week to make your home a little more like heaven